Today's sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from... And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Dak going to start out going to the air. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott finding room in midfield. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big pickup of 38.
Well, you don't become a two-time rushing champion in this league without being able to shed some tackles, and Ezekiel Elliott does just that on this latest run.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
And the Chiefs are going to get him.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively. And not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Now Prescott on fourth down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Deion Bush with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
Well, they certainly weren't afraid to let it fly early, and they hope that'll keep the defense honest and keep the offensive guys excited about getting back out there. They are in attack mode in this game. It did backfire a little bit. Now you're just hoping your defense can keep them off the scoreboard so you're not facing a deficit the next time you run out there.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. He's got a man complete.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. And it's 2nd down. They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this 1st quarter. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs 1st down.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Catch is made by Hardman. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this 1st quarter. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Throw over the middle, caught by the tight end Gray. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Dave's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
Running it with a fullback, Burton. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Mike Burton taking it in from a yard out. And the Chiefs post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
From the 27, Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Hey, let's go!
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Mahomes going to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Mahomes. Hard throw, incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He's got a man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Prescott now from the 50. He wants it all for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Fourth down, Prescott. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, If they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that will do it for this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
Both teams making their final preparations for this second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the 2nd half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So an opening drive interception to begin this 2nd half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the 2nd half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott under pressure. They got him again. Frank Clark picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Prescott to throw on 4th. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. They'll go option to the short side. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Touchdown!
Patrick Mahomes finding Mecole Hardman.
And the Chiefs are in for 6.
So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Popular down near the goal line, quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was, and one of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. 1 more good rep, and they get off the field.
3rd and long for Prescott.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
That is caught by Smith-Schuster. And in for the Chiefs touchdown.
Juju Smith-Schuster on the touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the 2 teams by far, and that's great complementary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
That's into the hands of Tolbert.
And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second and 10.
Prescott now.
That is caught by Lamb.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Prescott yet again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
He will return this from deep in
deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Again, Edwards-Helaire, but he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball 3rd time.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Toss left to Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That was Nick Bolton rushing in and burying him behind the line.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Able to hit his target, Lamb. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll throw again. Prescott. Flushed out right. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Prescott. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
One last shot now for Prescott. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, Off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.